number 6. Speak with no fears. The Toastmasters Secret with Ankush Kapoor.
The acceleration of disruptive technology has created changes in the way we communicate, making it essential to know how to be effective. There are a few places where we can learn the new trends in communication, developing fellowship through collaboration, and improving leadership while volunteering. If you want to navigate through this new normal stage in our society, this show is for you.
Ankush has been a Toastmaster for 2 years now. He has been an active member, taking executive roles while delivering speeches to complete his pathways. For Ankush, it has been a great and fulfilling experience, and we trust he will continue to be a Toastmaster for a long, long time. Welcome, Ankush.
Welcome. Ankush, how did you know about Toastmasters International?
Thank you, Olivia. First of all, thank you for having me on this podcast. I am looking forward to my session with you and Swati. I came to know about Toastmasters more than 10 years back. I was living in California at the time. I had a friend of mine who was a member of the local club in there, but I never thought about it much. Fast forward 10 years, I was in Canada. I wanted to enhance my public speaking skills. That's when I remembered that my friend used to talk about Toastmasters, and I Googled Toastmasters, found the local club which was near my house so that it's easy for me to keep up with the meetings. And that's when I decided to give it a shot. I attended a meeting. I liked the format. I liked the club. It is close to my house so that I don't need to skip meetings because of the distance. And that's when I decided to give it a shot, give it a genuine shot and join a club. That's where my journey started.
Thank you so much. What was your reason to join the organization and your expectations at the moment?
My initial expectations were not high. I wanted to definitely become better at public speaking because I had the knack of talking to small groups and be very comfortable with them. But throughout my life, I never felt comfortable giving a presentation to a larger group and or people who I am not comfortable with. So that's where I thought that this is an essential skill that I need to develop. So I wanted to join Toastmasters to learn more about how to give speeches to a larger audience and be comfortable in that situation. My initial expectations were not high. I thought that I will try to learn what others are doing because that's what I normally do. That's my way, that I will see what others do and then adapt and learn and implement the techniques required to become a good public speaker. So that's where I started, and those were my initial thoughts while joining the club.
Thank you, Ankush. Even though your initial expectations weren't so high, you have been awarded with the Triple Crown this year. Was this milestone part of your plan originally?
To be very honest, Olivia, this was never part of the plan. I didn't even know such an award existed. What happened is initially I did not give a lot of speeches. As you know that, as I mentioned, that I was hesitant to talk in front of a crowd. It took me a while to give my first 2 speeches. But then I understood that I had to change the perspective in my mind to become good. So I decided to give it my genuine shot to more speeches. With that, what happened is I kept doing more speeches and I liked giving more speeches. So eventually what happened is I ended up completing 3 levels in a Toastmasters calendar year, which is July 1st to June 30th. And I didn't even realize it. And one fine day I opened the mailbox just as a habit. And there I see the Triple Crown Award. And even the award, whatever was signed by Jocelyn, did not explain well what it is. I kind of knew it. I had to Google what's the meaning of this award. And then I realized, I actually completed 3 levels of my path in 1 year. So this was definitely not part of the plan and original expectations, but I was surprised to get it. Like it's like you are not expecting something, you keep doing some work and you just get rewarded as a surprise. That was the result of that.
What a wonderful gift.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to tell our listeners more about Triple Crown Award and what it represents to you?
So the Triple Crown Award is it just signifies that you were able to complete 3 levels of your pathway in 1 calendar year. So as we know that the Toastmasters calendar year is July 1st to June 30th of the next year. So if you complete 3 levels of your pathway, you will be awarded. You are eligible for a Triple Crown Award. And it's good that a district follows the habit of sending these awards, because you can go for it on your own, but districts usually are expected to give this to their members. That's why you can see that the award is listed with Jocelyn's signature, because she's the district director at this point of time. What it represents is, if you put the effort, you are consistent towards to meet your goal, you will definitely be rewarded. So as I said, I was not expecting it. I kept with my pace. I kept doing speeches every month. There were slots available. I took advantage of the situation. There were times where I was not ready with my speech up to 2 days before the meeting. But I took it as a challenge to research, to find the right topic, to do everything. Sometimes my speech titles I had to update, call Vijay, please can you update the speech title, because the agenda was frozen. My speech title was not ready. But if you keep up with it, you will definitely be rewarded for your efforts. That's what this represents.
Indeed, efforts pays.
Ankush, how did the experience of being a Toastmasters have affected your professional and personal life?
So let me start with professional, Olivia. In the professional life, I can feel that I can talk better. I don't necessarily, because the thing is, the Toastmasters pattern is a prepared speech. So you get only 5 to 7 minutes, which means even if you have a good concept, you have to summarize before you talk. So I've become better at not just talking. I listen, understand, summarize, and then talk. So that's really helped me professionally to gather my thoughts and give a good output from what about my thought process is. Even personally, I become more disciplined, because I feel that it's not just public speaking, right? Because you keep up with what you do. You're an executive in the executive committee. You prepare for speeches, so you automatically get that kind of discipline to, if you plan for something, you keep up with that. You go for those meetings. If you have prepared for a speech, or if you've taken a slot for the speech, you ensure that you give it. So it has brought more discipline in me personally. I'm not saying I have reached where I want to be, but definitely I am moving towards the right goals professionally and personally. And it's all started with Toastmasters.
Ankush, you have demonstrated a high commitment to our club. Would you tell our listeners what motivated you to take the role of treasurer shortly after joining Lakeview Toastmasters Club and actual president of the club?
So Swati, what happened is I joined the club in September timeframe. So the team was new. They used to keep discussing about things in the breaks. I actually got the fear of missing out. I thought, oh, these guys are in the executive committee. They have so much to discuss and so much to do. They plan so many things. I have to get behind the scenes somehow and then be a part of the executive committee. So what happened is, when the elections were there, my parents were actually visiting. I did not have time to prepare for a good speech or for my election or anything. So I said, what's the best way to ensure that you are part of the committee? I applied for 3 positions. I said, if I don't get one, at least I'll get the second. If I don't get the second, at least I'll get the third. So I applied for 3 positions. I wanted to be part of the committee. And it's all started with the wanting to see behind the scenes of how the meetings are run and how things are happening and things like that. So it started with that. That's why I became the treasurer in the first year. And then I realized that while being the treasurer, I automatically knew that I'm doing more, I can do more. So I automatically wanted to take on a more leadership kind of a role. And personally, I feel I am a better facilitator than an executor. So I wanted to be the president, because the highest level never ends up doing much, but they facilitate so that others can get their work done. So I thought that the role of the president was the best suited for my style of leadership, the value I can get to the team so that we can improve the club. That's why I went for the role of the president in the second.
Thanks a lot.
Ankush, besides the leadership roles, you are also working on your communication pathways. Will you tell our listeners what path are you studying right now and what are your goals as a communicator?
Good question, Olivia. So actually, when I started, I was looking at I was going through a lot of change in my life. I wanted to change my life. I wanted to do different kind of things. Public speaking being one of it. And that time I was looking at speakers like Tony Robbins. So I'm like, oh my God, look at these guys, man. They go on the stage without any hesitation. They just talk for an hour. I know they have those monitors in front where the presentations are flowing, but the kind of confidence they have, the kind of improvisation they can do based on the questions asked from the audience. I wanted to become better at a keynote style speaker. I wanted to develop those skills. That's why I chose presentation and mastery, because that's where I think those projects were in a way that it lets you talk. And eventually I did a 20-minute speech in my last speech. So that's where I chose my path, because I wanted to be I wanted to get on stage, talk to thousands of people at one time. That's what the thought is. And that's why I chose presentation mastery. But as you all know, Toastmasters has many paths to suit different needs. It's just up to you on what you want. They have a good tool. You can go select your criteria. They have actually a 5 to 10 minute assessment you can take so that they can help you narrow down the kind of pathways you want to take. So I started with that, and presentation mastery came as one of the 3 choices. I read through all of them and wanted to take this, as I said, because I wanted to be like Tony Robbins and give a big speech one day. So that's where I started with that path.
Good to be ambitious, Ankush.
Yeah.
Ankush, finally, would you share your thoughts to manage successfully your career, family, friends, and role as Toastmasters?
So it's great question, Swati, and last question is great. Why I want to say it's great is because everyone talks about it, but it's very difficult. You need balance, right? So everyone has many facets in life. It's personal, it's professional, it's society, which is friends and family and things like that. So you need to have a balance, and you also need to have your aspirations as a goal. Many people confuse success with money and things like that, but they don't try to get into that. There is other ways to feel successful. There are other ways to be demonstrate leadership rather than being a big CEO or something. So what I would say is that if you know what you want, you can either get it from different areas, and the gap which I was feeling in my personal and my professional life was fulfilled by Toastmasters. So I could communicate, I could go on the stage, give my speech, feel I'm talking to thousands of people, even though it was a small group of 15, 20 people, but I could feel that I am talking, giving my speeches and being big in life. Also, it also gave me a good leadership feel. So I don't now feel that, hey, I should have become a CEO by now or things like that. I'm fulfilling my leadership quotient in Toastmasters as well. So it has helped me fill a gap. That's why I have been able to balance it well with everything else, right? I know what role Toastmasters plays. I know what role my work plays. I know what role my career and my personal life plays. And I balance it with planning, slightly management. Sometimes things go off, but then that's where your on-the-spot thinking will let you get your balance back. So the secret is to have that, the discipline to keep the balance, and you'll be able to fulfill all different things what you want in life.
Thank you so much.
I would like to have this powerful way to answer the questions. Thank you so much. We would like, from the bottom of our heart, to thank you and thank our listeners for taking the time in getting better as a communicators day by day. Stay tuned for the next episode.